Wake up. That's right. I said, wake on up. Wake up and get to this table. You're at Mama's Table and you're listening to KUAW 98.5 on the FM side. That's right. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Come on now, everybody. Mama, go get Daddy. Daddy, go get Papa. Oh, yeah. Come on, Grandpapa. That's who I'm talking about. And Grandma. Come on, Johnny, and come on, Sue. Everybody out there in Radio Land, you come on, too. Come on to Mama's Table. Wake up, get to this table. You're listening to Mama's Table, Dr. Cheryl Canty, and Wake Up KC with Pastor Ellery Canty. Good morning, Deacon Walker. Good morning, Pastor Canty. Good morning, Radio Land. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to be with you again on your show, Mama's Table. Thank you for having me. I mean, you make me feel like you're my own mom or something like that. You give me just that kind of feeling. So thanks, Dr. Canty.
Oh, wow. You're more than welcome. I'm just glad to be a part of Wake Up KC also. Good morning, Deacon Walker. Good morning to you all out of Radio Land. Well, let's get started. Pastor Canty, can we get our morning stretch in?
Let's get our morning stretch in, everybody. There we go. Get that stretch in. You hear them bones cracking? Yep.
Yes.
Because I'm getting older. Yep, there we go. Got that stretch in. That's really good.
Yes.
All right, everybody, before we get started, we want to get started with the word. We want to start off with scripture. And Dr. Canty, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna bring the word in, but I also want you to interject on this because this is serious. Still out there, we always want to talk about things that are pertinent to society today, what people's thoughts are and what's in their mind and what's in their heart. Still lingering out there, even with COVID, churches being shut down and churches now trying to open back up and the uptick in that nature. There's still questions out there for many people who have been hurt spiritually. Church hurt is a real thing. But I want to say this. It's interesting that church hurt is the one hurt, it seems like it doesn't have a scab or healing when it comes to that type of wound. For whatever reason, we can be brokenhearted. We can take a cheating man or a cheating woman and heal from that and bounce back. But it seems like with church hurt, it's like we don't want to get past it. We don't even want it to scab over. We don't want it to heal. So Spirit told me to share this with you. And I'm probably going to expound on this on Sunday morning and preach about it because that's how powerful this is. But I just want to take John chapter 5, verses 8 through 15. Yep, get your Bible out. John chapter 5, verses 8 through 15. And this is what it says. I'll read from the NIV version of the Bible. John 5, 8 through 15. Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and he walked. The day on which this took place was the Sabbath. And so the Jewish leaders said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat." But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick up your mat and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." And told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who had made him well. So I want to just say this to everybody. For many people, and I still see it on social media today, and and sometimes every now and then I throw a comment in there. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook or whatever, I throw a comment in there to say when I see these questions of church and how church is judgmental, how the people of God are judgmental. This is a really good scripture because it's not necessarily that the church is judgmental. It's that you came into the church or you came into the presence of Christ broken or hurting or immobile or lame or addicted to something of the world. And then when you had that interaction with Christ, all the things that put you on the pathway that had you on the way to destruction and death, Jesus healed you. He healed you, he corrected, he fixed. Okay. And when he does that, in your He's going to tell you, stop doing the things that got you broke down in the first place. Quit coming to church, especially people my age group and younger. So I'm 39. All you guys my age and then younger, quit with that talk about people are being judgmental. You were broken. You did it your way. And guess what? And you got comfortable being hurt. You got comfortable being broken, but yet you wanted better for yourself. You wanted the Lord to come answer your prayers. You wanted him to heal your wounds, heal your broken heart. And he did. But you want to go back and do the same thing you were doing that got your heart broken or got you addicted in the first place. To say men and women of God are judging you when they tell you you got to stop sinning or else you're going to be in the same spot, if not worse. Okay? This should be self-explanatory. Stop that mess. Stop Jesus. You feel like your stuff don't stink. When people really love you, I always tell people this.
Tell you the truth.
Really love you. Listen, if you can't tell me my breath stank, who can? Because when you tell me and you love me, you're going to whisper to me, you're going to offer me some gum or a breath mint. You're not going to put me out on Front Street because you know how to tell me how to get right or what stinks about me without humiliating me, because you want to up so I don't stink no more or so I won't be going out here looking raggedy. But for these people who cause it, well, the church is judging me, you just want somebody to say nothing to you. Stop. All right? We're not playing that with you. It's time out, church. Quit playing that with folks. Hey, foul, you raunchy. This ain't right. This ain't good. I'm saying this because I love you. I'm saying this because I want better for you. But if I didn't love you, I would just let you self-destruct. I would go your way and find yourself dead or murdered or in jail or addicted or used and abused. Stop this. Jesus' own words to this man who was lame. Okay. He said, see, you are well again. Stop sinning.
Yes.
Something worse may happen to you. So that's my word for y'all today. Get the full sermon tomorrow. Get the full sermon tomorrow because, I'm going to lay it on because there's so much in here. But Dr. Kent, I want you to interject about this because this is still a conversation.
Amen. You know, Pastor Canty, you on my street. And a matter of fact, if they studied their Sunday school lesson, speaking truth boldly, over in John 8:32, it says, and if you listen to the scriptures, it says that, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. We have to speak the truth because what is the truth? The truth is God. Jesus is the truth himself. He is the truth. And so therefore, when we tell you things, especially those that are telling you in love, telling you the truth does not always make you feel good. It does not tickle you. It is not, if some things like that's what they said, it's a two-edged sword. Sometimes even the one telling you, it's also a lesson for us also. And so this is what truth is. And you have to be able to speak it boldly. And then if you're going to continue to do the same thing, then you really don't want to know. It's kind of like Ahab. He didn't really want to know the truth. He wanted to be with people that were going to be people pleasers. People were going to tell him what he wanted to hear. And so we have to understand these kind of people exist.
It's you know what? And it's true because, I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right.
Not either.
And so that's why it's very important that I stay rooted in the word so I won't be so haughty that I can't see the correction of the Lord. Now, there is a difference when you got haters who are always trying to hate on you and say mean things. Mm-hmm. I want to see the difference between someone loving you and someone hating on you. When someone really loves you, they're pouring into you that will build you up. When someone is hating on you, all they want to do is tear you down. Mm-hmm. When people tell you correction, this isn't Jesus hating on this man who was once lame. Jesus helped this man, and Jesus shown himself to be worthy of the respect that he should listen to him. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So when everybody says, well, I don't know what you mean when you say, like, no, that person visits you, that person spent time with you, that person came to you correct. You know the context in which someone is hating on you versus someone who's just, who loves you and is telling you right from wrong. So I just want to tell y'all out there, hey man, it's 2021. Stop this. All right. You did it your way. And that's why you in the situation that you in. I think about my own life, the things I did selfishly. I did it my way. And
Mhm.
it was the best way. And I had to give my life. Listen, I had to give the situation to God, you know, and there was blessing after that. And so I'm not saying this from a superiority standpoint, like, you know, somebody's better than the next person. I'm saying this from someone who needs God, from someone who trusts and has experienced God. I'm saying, trust God, listen to the Lord. Y'all listening to everybody else but God. Stop sinning, for something worse may happen to you.
That's it. Pastor Canty, if I
Yeah.
may add in that too, while we're still on this, it's because too, even with the pandemic, we shouldn't go back to business as usual. We should learn something from this. Too many of us are waiting to hurry up and get back to the normalcy, but it was something that we should have learned that we were doing in error, so we won't repeat it. Like God was telling that man, sin no more. You know, he made it clear. You know, okay, I'm gonna heal you this time, but if you keep sinning, something worse is gonna come upon you. And God keeps showing us over and over again. You know, he showed us and he's trying to say, no, it's a reason why I stopped that practice, or that I want you all to grow. Come back to me, not your traditions, not your entertainment, pleasing yourself, but come back to me and do it my way, my standard. All right, Pastor Canty, I just wanted
Amen.
to
Amen.
piggyback
Nah,
on that.
that's good. You're listening to KUAW. KUAW, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, 98.5 on the FM side, your internet community global radio station. Amen. Amen. Ask you to check it out on Facebook, like the page. You can go on KUAW's website. Please like it. Not only just like it, look at all the cool things that they're doing and the other wonderful shows. And heck, if you have that spirit of cheerful giving, donate as well. That's right.
Amen.
Put your money where your mouth is. Show some love so we can keep this going. It's our community radio station, giving good information, great shows, and also wonderful talent that's being revealed each and every day that may not be known to mainstream media. All right, awesome.
All right. And we want to thank Deacon Walker and Sister Walker. And we want to let you know, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. 98.5 on the FM side, Kansas City Global Community Radio Station. That's right. You're listening to Mama's Table. Wake up, KC. Come on and get to this table. You're also listening to Wake Up, KC with Pastor Ellery Canty, Dr. Cheryl Canty, and Wake Up. Hey, you at Mama's Table. That's right. Come to this table. Come get fed. We're going to feed you some delicious food on today. Well, I'm ready. Pastor Canty, can you lead us into prayer?
I'm gonna do the prayer at the end because I might make some of y'all so mad we're gonna have to end in prayer. So here we go.
Okay, well, before you do that,
yeah, we might need prayer after. I gotta put in the proper context. Usually I pray before, but maybe we're gonna need some prayer afterwards after the stuff I'm about to say. These
okay,
are the views of KUAW. These are the views of Pastor Canty. So let me just exonerate the show right now. All right. So we're going to start with the fog line. Okay. We're going to talk about the fog line, Dr. Canty. Okay. You know this, I talked about it on my page. And I talked about it in a sermon last Sunday. I just wanted to bring it to everybody. Right here, I got I'm gonna cover up my address and show, you know, whatever, but I got my warning ticket. This was my warning ticket that I got. I was a victim of being racially profiled a couple of weeks ago while I was on vacation. And I was pulled over on a bogus charge. I was pulled over. It was a police officer. Long story short, he was over 100 yards away at 12 o'clock noonday. He was in that median part, you know, where emergency vehicles can cross over from one side of the highway to the other. So he was perpendicular to the highway, you know, it's going east and west, and he was perpendicular. He said over 100 yards away over the horizon, he can tell the driver tire touched the fog line. Now, there were cars speeding past me. I was in the slow lane when I passed by him. There was cars that passed by, but in my SUV, my front windows are clear. My back windows are slightly tinted. You know, that's just how it came from the dealership or whatever. And a lot of vehicles like that happen like that. So it wasn't even a custom tint, anything like that. But he just was so enamored to see a black man probably driving through his town, thinking that he had somebody. He pulls me over on this charge called the fog line. I need everybody in radio land to Google the fog line, because something that that minorities could be pulled over and be harassed by. And what you will learn is that the law enforcement is using this rule to pull you over, and they are using the law correctly. The correct thing about the fog line is they must have proof of erratic driving. It's not that you touch the fog line, because the fog line is simply this: it's the boundary of a body of air contacting well, we talk about the fog line. It's that line on the road that divides the shoulder. It's the line painted on the road. It's usually bright white. So it's the line that's right at the shoulders of the road. It's not the braking lines in the middle. It's the shoulder lines on the road, okay? Those are the lines you're supposed to see in case it's really foggy. That's why I call it the fog line. I always called it the boundary of the shoulder line. Usually that line has like a rumble strip on it, if you will, if you cross over on it. And so he said my wheel touched it. My wheel didn't rumble. Nothing was going on. I really didn't touch that, y'all. But when I passed by and they could see me in the front seat, they didn't see anybody in the passenger seat. When I passed by, 2 miles up the road, they pulled me over. You know, he comes, he had that police flag, which is like that blue flag, that flag that appeared when Trump was in office. He had that stitched to him. And let me say this, that is against the law, everybody. If we talking about patriotism, we were never supposed to disrespect the flag or make our own images or copies of the flag. Check out the flag code of the United States of America. So any police and stuff like that, the police, you're not a separate entity. You're citizens that protect us. You're citizens that we trust to protect and serve us. You're not above us. You're not below us. We trust you. We trust you and we appreciate you. And you're not supposed to take that and manipulate your authority. But anyway, he came, long story short, he was like, you know why I pulled you over? You know, I go through the whole spiel. I didn't know why he pulled me over. As you can imagine, I don't really have a poker face, so I wasn't happy. He could tell by my facial expression. But, you know, I have to say this, you know, you have to look at the situations. These are life or death situations when you're harassed in this nature. He said, well, I saw over the horizon, your driver will touch the fog line. And I was just like, over the horizon? I was just like, my tire touched it. And I'm thinking to myself, every day on the highway, cars, SUVs or whatnot, y'all might have touched that line just in normal driving. Doesn't even mean anything erratic, but here nor there, that really wasn't an excuse to pull me over, nor did he even have proof or video that I even touched the thing. Okay, it's just his speculation. But here's the trick bag that you have to understand with that. So normally they use that to say if I have like my coffee mug, because it was in the afternoon, and say if I had my coffee and he say, well, you touched the fog line, I think you're, you know, that's why I pulled you over. Then that leads into other things. Well, what's in the cup? Coffee. Well, I don't know. Maybe I need to search your car. Or, hey, what's that smell? I don't know, man. Probably soap and water. My cologne. Nope. He can say by his own word, maybe I think there's drugs in here. Maybe I don't know. I can't see what's in that ashtray over there. So now you get into, they can take this door opener of a fog line to do a search into your car. Okay. Even though it's not warranted, even though it is actually an illegal search. Now you can say, I refuse to give you a search of my car, but just because you refuse it doesn't mean that they'll let you go. So then they will tell you, well, you're being detained. I want y'all to know the steps that they do to manipulate us. Now, by this point, we as minorities, we're upset and we're irate. When we get upset and irate because they can't search our car, so now we're being detained. So you can't leave because you're being detained, and you're irate because you got a bogus reason that you're being pulled over. And then they use this to bait us, to get us emotional, upset, or mad so they can murder us. All right. So I just want y'all to understand that, take it from me, and I got people who my Facebook friends who are white and other ethnicities, take it from me. I have been pulled over on so many occasions without, and don't have a ticket. And this ticket that I have, it's a warning ticket. What the warning ticket does, it puts me in the system. It puts me in the system. They can look up that I got a warning ticket for fog line. And this is a door opener to mess with us as minorities. So I want you to know what really helped is, or what really happened was the Lord. And also too, my car was packed full of stuff because we was on a road trip and vacation, but he didn't realize that my wife and my daughter, my baby girl, was in the back seat, and his demeanor, he says, "Oh, I didn't know you had anybody in this car. Didn't see y'all back there." So that lets you know the optics of it would have been this. It's, you harass this man who's with his family in the back seat, packed with children, and now the publicity of it all would have looked ugly. And so I think he was probably cognizant of, if he's alone, it's his word against mine. But the optics does, if I do something to him, I almost got to do something with this woman and this child as well. So the Holy Spirit, we're let go. But I really need y'all to look into the fog line. I need y'all to see how this goes down. And when you look up the fog line, everybody, you will see a number of cases. You will see all kind of lawyers. You will see all kind of people that says this is used illegally by police to pull people over. There's a story in Idaho, the state of Idaho. This has went to the Supreme Court of Idaho. You'll see a brief story about a woman. I can tell what ethnicity she is. She crossed the fog line 2 or 3 times, didn't even have a driver's license, found that she did have drugs on her, but the Idaho Supreme Court said her being pulled over by the fog line, it's not a real barrier, and they dismissed the drugs because they said the search, anything they found to search will have to be thrown out of her case. That don't happen for us. But I want y'all to see the number of things with the fog line. So when I'm aware of things like this, or when I'm living things like this, just know that there's one more thing, like I didn't know, but that is a bait trap thing to pull you over and to get to search your vehicle, and also to get you out of character so they can get you ramped up to arrest you, but more importantly, take your life. So please look up the fog line. All right. You have any questions or thoughts on that, Doc?
Well, I'm glad you shared it. Once again, no knowledge, you can find yourself in trouble. And what may not be important to some is important to others, because I too travel sometimes by myself. And I'm going to tell the truth. I didn't know about the fog line until it happened with you. Also too, going over off the margin, I have to tell the truth. Sometimes I may have drove off the over on the margin or whatever, but I didn't realize there was a fog line, and I didn't know. So that's good news for me to know now, because I do go long distances, and I want to understand, because a lot of times too, being by myself, want to understand some laws and stuff that I might not have known. So this is very interesting to me, and also too to others out there traveling. We have to be aware of these kind of things. I never heard of. When you were explaining, I was like, the fog line. I was trying, even when it's a fog, I didn't know it was a line out there. So, and I might be a little behind or something, but I really didn't know it. And I'm trying to be honest, I kind of laugh, but I'm really serious about that. I have traveled in the rain and the storm and never knew, and the fogginess. I left out early in the morning, going down over to going to St. Louis, where it's real foggy down there by Black Bottom. And I never knew to look for the fog line, and I probably wouldn't have seen it no way, but I'm just glad you shared this with us.
Yeah. Amen. So, let's speak about this. Let's get informed about this. And also too, this could be something else. Everybody, we need real police reform. I'm not going to get, I think I probably need to write down what real police reform looks like. And for all of y'all saying, well, we'll cut their funding. It's like, cut their funding. They need funding for proper training. They need more police officers on the force. Okay. And in police reform, we need to vet the police officers on the force properly. So it's not about cutting the funding because you make them more desperate, more erratic, and they feel more unsafe. So think about what you're saying. We gotta start being smart instead of so emotional, and think about clearly what do we need. So y'all saying take the money away. I'm saying like add the money for their training, add the money where they have partners where they don't feel like they're afraid. Add the money where they get an evaluation, that you have people that evaluate who joins the force. Okay, that's more jobs. You know, we need to evaluate these individuals. They can't just be psycho, or they can't have these prejudices or these hangups. So they need more money. And also too, everybody, they need more money on their payroll. Okay, they got to get paid better. Okay, so it's not that I'm for the nonsense that they're doing. I'm saying that let's not add stress to a stressful job. Okay, so it needs more money to get the proper care, the proper people, and the proper vetting. And then the reform aspect of it. The reform aspect of also too, now that we pour money into your training, now that we giving you better equipment, and your camera shall always be on, then when we afford those things to you, when you don't comply with doing your job, here's what else goes with the reform. Your camera wasn't on and someone is dead and we don't have proof, automatic 3 years in prison. You know, then we find it like automatic 3 years in prison. You know, whether it was something screwy, you know, whether it was an accident, this, that, and third, you didn't have your camera on because we trained you, because we invested in you. Okay. Other things we can start saying is, you know what, when you're found guilty of doing something that cost somebody their life that's outside of your training, we taking your pension. Okay. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We taking your pension. We're not going to give you a GoFundMe account and make you rich and famous because you murdered somebody. These are the things that I'm talking about with reform. But I want to invest in giving our police officers the proper training, the setups, the equipment, everything they need, the partners, enough people on the force where they don't say, well, I was stressed out because I ran a double shift. No, I want to give you what you need, because when you don't do what your job requires you to do, we're going to hold you to the standard of you're penalized. So that's what I want everybody to understand about proper reform and how to view and look this thing through. Okay. And we need to have these people that vet these people. So we can say, so before you had Officer Jenkins, sign up for the force, you didn't know that he has hate messages and Confederate flags, or this person hates white Americans. You didn't know that this racial thing when you profiled them before the job. So I want to give all those things in consideration when we talk about real reform. That's all I'm saying.
Pastor Canty, I would like to add to that also too. You're listening to KUAW 98.5 on the FM side. Wake up and come to this table. You're at Mama's Table and Wake Up KC with Pastor Ellery Canty and Dr. Cheryl Canty. I would like to add to this just before you go on to the next thing. One thing you said is so true, and they even found this out with the George Floyd case. That police officer, they found out that he had various incidents before this one. So when you have someone that continues a process and there's never a penalty, they kind of lose conscience of their behavior because there's no penalty. And then another thing too, you have to watch out for when you do that, and then they're able to move on and recycle into another community. All you're doing is letting that behavior continue. And wrong is wrong. If there's laws for different things, then let's not make new laws. Let's enforce the law on everybody, regardless of what their title is. Let them too go by the law. And so I say that on this subject, as you're speaking about it, we must stay involved. The things that you're talking about, Pastor Canty, about the police force, you're absolutely right. We have some good officers out there, and we're not trying to penalize them, just like when they talk about the Blacks. Not all the Blacks are doing certain things. You got some other nationalities doing some things too. So we don't want to be like that, but we are saying those things that can be corrected, let's do that. Let's correct the things that we know better than. Okay, Pastor Canty, thank you.
Amen. On another news is DARPA implantable microchips to detect COVID, the mark of the beast. This article came out on May the 6th, 2021. DARPA, what is DARPA? DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, commonly referred to as DARPA, was established during the Cold War more than 60 years ago. For 60 years, DARPA has maintained and advanced the mission of making pivotal investments in breakthrough technologies for national security. Many are familiar with their human and animal-like robots, but recently they have taken on another mission that involves being prepared for the future pandemics like COVID-19. Recently, the organization has invested more in this area. DARPA's pandemic prevention platform called P3 program, which started in 2017, looks at finding, describing, producing, testing, and delivering effective DNA and RNA encoded medical technologies to fight infectious disease. According to its website, the technological aspects of this research were developed by the organization under an autonomous diagnostics to enable prevention and therapeutics. It's called ADEPT program. The goal is to implement technology that will be able to offer the body bioengineered instructions on how to produce protective antibodies against a given threat when required. What I'm saying, everybody. One recent development involving multiple laboratories, including at Duke and Vanderbilt universities, has resulted in them quickly pivoting to rapidly identifying antibodies for COVID-19 in less than 90 days, a process that typically requires years to complete. The more information about this was revealed on CBS. On what show? On 60 Minutes. Y'all jokers need to start watching 60 Minutes. The segment with Dr. Matt Hepburn, an Army infectious disease physician and retired colonel. Hepburn joined DARPA as a program manager in 2013, working out the Biological Technologies Office. Prior to his position at DARPA, he served as a director of medical preparedness on the White House National Security Staff. During the Minutes interview conducted by Bill Whitaker, Hepburn spoke of the subdermal implant that will be able to monitor anyone with the implant. He added, it's not some dreaded government microchip to track your every move, but a tissue-like gel engineered to continuously test your blood. This implanted microchip will be able to continuously monitor the human body for signs of COVID-19. In the interview, he added that when placed under a person's skin, they will be able to track chemical reactions going on inside the body, and that signal means that you are going to have symptoms tomorrow. From his compartment, he asserted that the technology could be used to tell if a person is infected with COVID-19, but added it is still in the testing phase. The DARPA website does state that they are actively conducting research programs focused on diagnosis, detection, treatment, prevention, and manufacture of medical countermeasures to combat COVID-19. DARPA continues to work closely with the Department of Defense, multiple U.S. government agencies, as well as its academic and industrial partners to provide technical and scientific solutions to address the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, here's what I want to say, everybody. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because y'all are trained when anyone makes you think outside of what the media tells you, you're trained to call somebody a conspiracy theorist. So I just want y'all to research what I'm saying. It's not that what I'm saying is a lie. It's not that what I'm saying is not readily available out there for you to read. This stuff comes from 60 Minutes. There's actually several stories. When you look up the word DARPA, when you look up DARPA, everybody, it's D-A-R-P-A. It's an acronym, D-A-R-P-A. They have been doing stuff on humans, on the human brain. They have been doing all kind of diabolical stuff. And they have been planning for this. They have been working on this since 2017, but COVID comes out on 2020. But they have a gel-like microchip that they want to put in on you for COVID. The world is banking on your fear, everybody. They are playing on your fear, and they're not answering the actual questions that you should be asking. You have made your mind lazy to accept the media, as opposed to you exercising the God-given brain that you have to question some things. Here's some thoughts that I want to put out there for y'all. Just some thoughts. You can answer them, because I'm not here. Listen, I'm here to provoke your thought. Whatever you choose to believe is on you. It's always been on you. Thoughts, Doc, that I want to share. What if the spike protein that the vaccine creates in your body is making you an actual spreader? What if the spike protein, again, let me say it again, that the vaccine makes, what if the spike protein the vaccine creates in your body is making you a spreader? That means that you're the cause of the outbreak. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about, is this vaccine making you an asymptomatic person that's carrying it and giving it to other people? What if the mRNA, okay, here's another thought. What if the mRNA, because mRNA is not a virus, that is some bio juice or whatever that we just really don't know exactly a whole lot about, that we're being introduced to. But what if the mRNA is giving more commands than what we are actually being told? Remember, the mRNA gives your cells the commands, right? What if there's some more commands that the mRNA gives? Or what if at a later time, or what if this mRNA opens the door for random commands in the future? Okay, this is for mRNA, for it to give commands and tell your cells what to do, instead of your body commanding itself naturally as God created it to do. It's on the same level of giving someone your passcodes to your bank account. It's on the same level as giving somebody the passcode to your cell phone. It's on the same level of giving your codes to your computer away, hoping that the stranger would respect your property and keep it intact. That's the similarity of that. And I want y'all to understand the gravity of that is trying to give your body commands. Have y'all ever realized that the body that God created is so awesome? When did man ever need to give our body a command to fight something? Our body is so resilient that it can do these things. And as a matter of fact, here's how great our body is. They murdered Dr. Seba, okay? The doctor, Dr. Seba, y'all need to look him up. He has been to the Supreme Court. Dr. Seba, through diet and wellness, was able to reverse people who were infected with HIV naturally, and they be healed from it. That's how cold your body is. But that research is out there, and those people exist. But in our lifetime, if you Google this, y'all gotta understand, everything ain't gonna be Googleable anymore, because 60 Minutes and there's documentaries on Netflix that says that even Google is hiding stories away that the public cannot see. They're starting to censor what is even out there on the internet. So there's gonna be a time that these stuff that I'm saying referred to, it won't exist anymore, because the algorithm that Google is sending out won't allow you to see this stuff. But listen, wellness doctors for the last 5 years, especially in the state of Florida, a lot of them came up dead, okay? They were murdered. Mysteriously, over 30 holistic doctors were murdered or disappeared, because they have the truth of a lot of this stuff out here is used for population control, to kill people off. And also, to holistic doctors are saying, don't do the medicine, change some things and do some healthy things, take healthy things of the earth that will give you better results than what the pharmaceutical companies are putting out. Here's another thought. How can this, and check this out, how can this country say that they care about our health? They got John Legend out here doing commercials about getting this COVID shot. It's free at Walmart, free at Walgreens. How can our country care about our health and they want to give us a free vaccine, but they won't offer us universal health care. How do you say you care about us with the shot, but you don't even want to give us universal health care? More people have died from diabetes and heart disease. If you really cared about people's lives before COVID, you would have been done helped us out. You don't want to give me universal health care. You don't even want to be responsible for the side effects that might cripple or murder individuals, but you want me to take your shot and believe in you. How can I trust you? You don't want to give universal health care. So how do I believe that this shot is legit? You want to give this to me for free, but not health care for free. Stop it. Common sense. That's why you said, Dr. Canty. Doesn't that make sense? How the shot gonna be free, but you don't want to give me universal health care for free, but you care about my health. Okay. Another thing that
Pastor Canty.
Yes.
You're doing a fantastic job. I just wanted to put this in here too. You're listening to KUAW 98.5 on the FM side. Wake up, KC, and Mama's Table. Come on to this table. We're cooking and we're smoking. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Pastor Canty, I want to come back to what you're talking about, because it is something about the people, and I think they're a little fearful to face the truth. So they stay delusional. And the reason why I say that is sometimes if they just stop and think, the things that you're saying, the reference, you're letting them know this is not you just saying this, but it's also been documented. 60 Minutes has these things. They can go out there and look. Many of them won't even go out there and investigate and look at these shows. But when you try to bring it to them, they say you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. And a lot of times these things are, if you think somebody's being misleading, write down the information, go back like they telling you, open it up, read, listen to it for yourself. Everybody has cell phones, everybody has smartphones, technology. Use these things before they shut down. Quit going back to business as usual. This is not to scare you. This is not to make you panic. He said, I'm rattling your cage to make you think. Come on, quit being delusional. Think about some things and let it make sense. Don't get mad if you made the mistake. We all have made mistakes. We're too trusting, okay? So Pastor Canty, I just wanted to kind of bring that in there because it's a reason why the people have become so docile. It's so much going on, and that's the way they do it. They overwhelm us with so much stuff that people begin to get to the point where they kind of, I don't know if they go into a state of shock, fear, or just don't know. But you all shake yourself, pay attention, come alert, wake up. All right, Pastor Canty.
It's interesting because a lot of people are saying we're stopping the herd immunity. Okay, let me say this. Y'all been giving this flu shot since the flu shot came out when I was like in high school. We did not reach herd immunity with the flu shot. We didn't reach it. And as a matter of fact, everybody who gets the flu shot, you get the symptoms of the flu every year, okay? And people were dying from the flu still. And as a matter of fact, it's like the flu disappeared for 2 years. Where did the flu go, everybody? We had tens of thousands of people that were dying from the flu. COVID comes up, y'all don't talk about the flu no more. What the heck happened? We never reached herd immunity with the flu. Why do y'all believe that herd immunity will happen with COVID? And guess what? We ain't reaching herd immunity. People getting this shot, and they look this up. People who received the vaccine, the shot, they're 4 weeks, 6 weeks down the road catching COVID again, and some are dying. Look at those stories. They're not talking about that. People who have taken the shot, which they said was, well, you still can get COVID, but you won't die. But people are dying. And then for y'all to say it's herd immunity, what kind of immunity if you're taking the shot and you're still getting it again? And so there is no such thing as, and they got commercials that show like somebody takes a shot and they get to take off their mask and they say, let's get back into society. Well, you can get back in society and take the shot, but you can still get COVID. So I'm hard pressed to figure out what's the big deal if you take the shot and can still get COVID and can still die versus the person who don't take the shot. The odds are still the same. And the people who are resisting the shot the most isn't actually African Americans. It's actually white Americans. It's actually white Americans who were Republican Trump supporters and rural white Americans are the ones that are rejecting the shot the most. So for everyone who thinks that African Americans are the biggest ones that are reluctant to the shot, statistics show that it's actually white Republican Americans. The same white Republican Americans that saw their president, Donald Trump, take the shot, even though they supported him, they're the ones in the highest category rejecting the vaccine. And our military is rejecting the vaccine at a high percentage. So I just want y'all to understand what's really going on. These things you can look at, you can review. Also, too, I want y'all to look at this. Know your history. We've been here. Please Google while you still can. 1976, Mike Wallace exposes the swine flu pandemic fraud reports. 1976, Mike Wallace exposes the swine flu pandemic report. There is a clip, there's a video, there are commercials, and it showed, guess what? It showed that this experimental vaccine of swine flu in 1976, how it debilitated individuals. It was not ready yet, and there were billions of dollars in litigation for the people that it harmed. And it was said that in 1976, how this was going to cripple and destroy the world. I was born in 1981. We're here today. Think about it. Also, too, in Kansas City's news, Fox 4 News, they introduced the Immunoband, a band on your wrist that will show you, that instead of you carrying your immunization card, they want you to have a wristband that they can scan that will have all your vaccination records on. So there's a lot of things trying to integrate you from a systematic, and bio is trying to connect your biology and your data all together. Okay, God created us and we're beautifully and wonderfully made. We cannot allow science to tamper with God's creation. Okay, now I know some people are going to hit me with and say, well, so you reject all medicines. I'm not saying that everything in the medical field is diabolical. I'm not saying everything is, but we do have to examine those things that challenges the creation of God. We do have to do that. All right. So there's something to think about. On other news, real quick, Florida, because I want to get to tasty topics at the end. Florida, I want everybody to look at Florida signed a bill. This is related to this. Florida signed a bill against banning vaccine passports. So just like I talked about the ban, the world is getting ready to make you have a vaccine passport for you to go back and forth. Florida rejected that. They said Florida's governor, DeSantis, he signed a bill into law that prohibits businesses and government agencies in the state from asking people for proof of the digital passport of their COVID vaccination. He is saying that if you come to the state of Florida, we're not going to ask for your medical records, because I could have swore we had HIPAA laws about medical records and the privacy thereof. He put into practice, and we're probably gonna have to talk about this a little bit longer in the next show, but what he said was, in the state of Florida, we're not gonna be asking you about your medical history. Now, we're gonna have countermeasures to make sure that you're well, but we're not gonna dive into your medical history. You can take a temperature test, they can test your temperature or things like that. They can do those things that are like readily available, whatever, but they're not gonna ask for your medical or bio history or information. Shout out to them for doing that. And they were saying that they're not going to invade people's civil liberties. Just they're not going to do that and take that away from them. So even though I'm not Republican or Democrat, I do support the fact that, listen, we're in a dicey role when we want people's medical records. We're in a dicey role when we talk about biotechnology into the human body and how it interfaces with us and what God's created us to do in our body to do.
Hello.
Alignment with the scriptures and Revelations. So we need to think about this, everybody.
Good morning. I guess you all can hear me. They went on freeze.
Yes, I can hear you now, Doc.
Wake up, everybody. Wake up, Casey. Well, I don't know what happened, but they must went on a freeze because we couldn't hear them. And I don't know if they could hear me. I was the only one able to get through. But I would like to add to this, if you can hear me, and wake up, Casey. Okay, because we couldn't hear you all for a minute there, Pastor Canty. You went on the freeze, and Deacon Walker, I see you all, but you went on freeze. I would like to add to what you were talking about real quick. In the April 26th KUAW paper, Missouri House votes against proof of vaccine mandate. Missouri did not go along with that. It says the Missouri House on Monday advanced a bill that will ban private businesses from requiring proof of vaccination from either employees or customers. The GOP-led House vote 88 to 56 to track the provisions on another bill. The action comes amongst a backlash to concept of the so-called vaccination passports, which are documentations that show travelers have been vaccinated, and they came against the COVID-19. The Missouri bill advanced Monday and goes further by banning private businesses from requiring proof of any vaccination, just a COVID vaccination. A group of both Democrats and some Republicans criticized the bill, arguing that the businesses such as nursing homes should be required and employees or visitors to show their vaccination against COVID-19. O'Fowler, a Republican, and Representative Tony Lavasco said he didn't want businesses to demand vaccination records, but he said business owners have the right to choose to do so. If we don't like what they are doing with the private property, well, you don't know what, you don't have to shop there. And then it goes on. So Pastor Canty, I was just letting you know, and also those out of radio land, because you went on the freeze, I had something even in the KUAW paper. And you all, we got to start reading and listening to people. This is not a Pastor Canty, a mama's table. This is news. This is in the paper. I got this from the KUAW paper. And so there are steps being taken, and Missouri's House voted against the proof of the vaccination mandates. Okay, Pastor Canty, wake up, KC.
Wake up, KC. Last but not least, I want to end on some decent note. Everybody loves the tasty topic discussion. So last but not least, here's the question out here for the tasty topic. The whole idea of what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. Who said this? Women in today's society. Now, why do I bring this up? McDonald's has a commercial. I don't really eat McDonald's. But there's a young Black man who's in the car with his woman. And the age-old argument of what do you want to eat or do you want something to eat? The argument that no couple, Black, white, Jew or Gentile, can get away from, because every time you ask your significant other what they want to eat, they never know what they want to eat, but they know when you as a man make the choice of what to eat, they then realize what they don't want to eat. And what they don't want to eat is the choice that you made, men. But in McDonald's, if you thought this wasn't a real issue, the man goes up and he orders him a meal. He orders him, I think, a quarter pounder. He gets an extra one too for $1. All right. Not trying to promote McDonald's, but McDonald's, maybe you want to put me on your advertisement, because I mean I look pretty nice too. You can put me on there too if you want. I want some money. But and when he gets his food, his 2 quarter pounders, she says, "Yeah, I want one too." And the caption says, and he looked at her like, I asked you like you want to eat. And it says, what's mine, what's yours is mine. That's the commercial. The commercial said, what's yours is mine. And so the tasty topic of today is, ladies, you cannot treat your men as if they have no ownership of nothing in their life. You cannot make a man feel what he earned or what he worked for. He doesn't have any ownership of it. You do. And what you have, not only does he not get to have anything that belongs to him, but he dare not ask for anything of yours, because that's yours too. So he's in a relationship with you that he has no ownership of his stuff. He has no access or ownership to your stuff. So he's just a man in the wilderness with stuff all around him, but it doesn't belong to him. All right. Wow. What's your thought, Dr. Canty? I want to get your interjection before I slam it on home and close this door.
Okay. And when you close the door, I want to come behind you because I have a little something I want to say before you close the door. So give me enough time. I understand what you're saying, but they become as one. Now, I do understand that everyone needs to bring something to the table. I do believe in that. And but when you took your marriage vows, you all became as one. So he does have the right to have the things that he has and have his own. I get that, and that's right. But we also too, we're one, we're oneness. That's my understanding of it in God. When we unite, when we get married, we take our vows. Now we come together. So I
But we're not talking
understand.
about oneness. We talking about why can't we could be one, and if we one, why does that part of the one always get the stuff, and the man, it's not about oneness. It's about why can't a man have without feeling vilified? You know,
I think the man can have, because she really loves him. She wants him to have. I think sometimes it's just a matter of communication and coming together and communicating. And then sometimes too, where that area is a little bit, you need to sit down and kind of discuss. We don't got to the point we don't talk, we don't share. If I'm doing something that's irritating you, now remind you, I'm not married, so I don't want to get off into an area that I'm not good in. Okay, but
people who are dating suffer with this too, though.
Okay, so that's where I say communication. Okay, because I'm not dating now, but I have dated. That's why I say communication is a big part of it. And also too, you have to, that's where it talks about being evenly yoked. Okay, we get so used to being with indifference with our mates that a lot of common ground. We have to respect one another. And you as a man and her as a woman, you got rights just like she has rights. And I think I better back out of that because I'm trying to say it as best as I can. But when you love someone, you want to keep each other happy, okay? Amen. So that's all I can say, man. Okay.
All I would say is this, that it's an ongoing discussion. It's an ongoing topic. I feel like individuals work hard in their lives to have things, including a loving, healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. About a relationship, it's not about domination. Men and women, you're not in competition with each other. You're in love with each other. And so this, don't think about having or possessing something. Think about building, growing, and sharing something with each other. Amen. So when you use cliches such as what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine, you make either that man or that woman, if a man is saying it to that woman, you make them feel like that they have no ownership of anything. And if they feel like that they have no ownership or no place, you lead them looking for some place and somewhere they feel like they can have something, even if that means stepping out of that relationship and having that with someone else. You're opening up the door for confusion, deceptions, and lies. Again, we're not in competition with one another. We should be striving to be in love and have love for one another, sharing, building, and growing. Please stop saying that selfish, ridiculous phrase.
All right. All right, wake up, KC, Pastor Canty. Just before we go off, I got a minute, and real quick, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to the mothers. Mothers, you are beautiful. I just want to let you know we love you, we need you. Also, to understanding, we know that some of our moms are gone on home, but we thank God for the precious memories. God didn't tell us that we were going to be here forever. We're just pilgrims passing through. But we thank God that we had our mothers. And also, too, we want to understand that a mother, what is a mother? A mother is a protector. She's a disciplinarian. She's one that is creative. She's selfless. She's strong. She's goofy. She's intelligent. She's strong and she has wisdom. She brings and tells you about the goodness of God. Loving, passionate, unique, diligent, beautiful. And we appreciate you, mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. God
bless you.
God loves you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Pastor Canty and Deacon Walker.